I'm Jim McNally of McGlock Precision Components. We're going to show you how to put in a McGlock or McNally trigger in your Glock. First of all, you can take your Model 32 magazine out, and then hold it in your right hand and work the slide. I like to work it 3 times. Pull it back, look in the chamber, and make sure there's no round in the chamber. If you do it 3 times, you do it once, and a bullet comes out, you let it forward, you pull it again, and if a bullet comes out, you want to scratch your head a little bit. There's something different around here. Pull it back again, and a bullet comes out, you know you haven't taken the magazine out. So take the magazine out, pull it back, make sure it's empty, and then point it in a safe direction. Now, a safety feature on a Glock, if the trigger is in this position, it has to be loaded. So to field strip it or detail strip it, pull it, point it in a safe direction, pull the trigger, and see if the trigger is in this position, it has to be empty. So we pull the magazine back, or the slide back, about 1/10 of an inch, pull down and the slide locks. Now remember that, it's going to be on the test. Then we lay the slide down on the table, take your punch and knock the top pin out. Now there's another name for the top pin, it's called a locking block pin. Then dance with your slide stop, move it up and down, and at the same time put pressure on the trigger spring. Pull the trigger spring out, pull your locking block pin out, pull your slide stop out. Now the reason you have to dance with it is the slide stop is locked into these retaining rings right in here. So you have to just jiggle it around until it comes out of those retaining rings. These pins have to go out left to right. This little bad boy here can go out anyway. But this is called a trigger assembly pin. Take that out. Oop. You got to pull this locking block out. Now remember, that's another one that's going to be on the test. This is a locking block. Take it out. Then you can just pull the whole trigger assembly out. And take your package that your McNally trigger comes in. And you have simple instructions on how to put it in. Then all the McNally triggers have a band here. It locks in the trigger spring. You take your Benchmade knife, cut it, pull it out, and then check and see that the firing pin spring is in the center of the trigger bar. So you can kind of look at it, and you'll see a little bump in the center of the trigger bar. And that means your trigger is lined up. So hold it like this, drop your whole assembly in, and that's the convenient part of a McNally trigger. It just drops in, put your trigger assembly pin back in, put your, what's this called? A locking block. Slide that in, put your locking block pin in. See how they went out from left to right, and they go in right to left. This is, you have to put the locking block pin in before you put the trigger pin in. Now, I like to kind of put a little pressure on the trigger and look in the channel in the front of the gun. Put your trigger spring about halfway in so you can see one retaining ring. And then come in from a low angle and put your slide stop in. Slide it all the way up, hold it with your thumb, put your trigger pin in. Push it in until you feel it click, and it'll lock up with this slide lock. And if you can do this, you're righteous. Put the slide on, put it all the way back. There again, make sure it's empty. And then just point in a safe direction, pull the trigger. and you're set to go out the range and shoot excess.